when the quarterback chooses to become a runner, the quarterback is a runner. There was a play on Sunday, and I wish I remember who it was, but I saw a running back get hit a little bit late and went flying beyond the white stripe into the bench area. No flag, and I thought, if that's a quarterback, they're throwing that flag, even though they shouldn't. The running back, we never even think about. If a running back had been hit the way that Jaxson Dart was hit last night, there would have never even been a discussion about whether or not it was a legal hit. And it was. He was still in bounds. He's running down the sideline. Russell Yerk came on and said it correctly. He's running down the sideline. He didn't go out of bounds. And that's what happens when you choose not to take advantage of the opportunity to end the play. And of all guys for it to happen to, Jaxson Dart, the current shining example of what happens when quarterbacks don't protect themselves. And there was a Sunday Splash report after Dart had his concussion that the Giants want Dart to reduce the any team wants that for any quarterback. And, I mean, at any given time, it's this guy, it's this guy, it's this guy who's the example of what happens when you don't. It goes all the way back to Rex Ryan bringing, was it Buck Showalter at the time? Who was the manager of the Yankees in 2010? I don't think it was Showalter. Bringing the manager of the Yankees over to teach Mark Sanchez how to slide. Joe Torre. Was it Torre? Brought Torre over to teach him how to slide. I don't think it was Torre. It's another name. I'll look it up because I wrote about it recently. I wrote about it in reaction to this Dart thing because Sanchez wouldn't slide, couldn't slide. It was all about protecting the quarterback. The quarterback's got to protect himself. The quarterback's got to understand that extra yard isn't worth the risk of being out for 2 weeks. And I don't know how guys can't keep that in mind. But I guess it's just the pure raw, that thing that takes over that makes football what it is. Some guys can't. It's the awareness rating on Madden. Some guys can't keep that thought in mind when the stuff gets real physically on the field.
And a part of it is you got to mature as a player. You can't just be like, this is my game. That doesn't work in the National Football League. You have to understand, all right, the best thing you can do is be on the field. And there were people that I saw, everybody posted a hit, and I'm reading through the comments, and people are like, that's a dirty play because he has no idea if he is going to step out of bounds. And if he did step out of bounds, he would have hit him the same way. And guess what? Everybody who's watching the game, these guys who get paid millions of dollars to play football and play in the NFL, they watch a ton of film. So you're out of your mind if you don't think the defense is talking about Jaxson Dart and he's not going to run out of bounds. We watch over and over of him tiptoeing the sideline, trying to pick up first downs. Every defender knows that. So as they run towards the sideline, if he steps out, it's a bad play. But when you watch game after game after game and you come in and you go, hey, 85, 90% of the time, this guy's going to go get the extra yards. Guys are going to run at quarterbacks like that. Running back, whoever it is, you're going to run and you're going to be ready to go. Because if you go back and watch the film, Jaxson Dart has done a good job, whatever you want to call it, of lowering his shoulder and creating extra yards. We all look at it and say, hey, he probably shouldn't do that. But when you're on the receiving end of a quarterback lowering his shoulder and picking up an extra 3 yards, you're like, damn, I blew that. I should have ran right. And Christian Ellis was a guy you can tell studied the film. He didn't break stride because he knew what was going to happen. And that's the National Football League. This isn't a, hey, maybe he's going to do that. Maybe. Guys are studying. They're playing on the edge because they know that's how they make money. That's how they keep jobs in the NFL. And for Jaxson Dart, you better realize when you were in Pop Warner youth football, you were faster than everybody. You were better. When you went to high school, it was the same thing. At Ole Miss, you were able to outrun guys. Guys got good hits on you. It was like, I could shrug that off. I get it. He's a tough kid. You're not going to be able to do that throughout your NFL career. These guys are too big, too strong, too fast. He needs to get with a veteran quarterback. Somebody needs to pull him and say, hey, nobody's questioning your toughness. Your team needs you out on the field. You cannot continue to play that way. And, again, they call less less QB design run plays, and I know Brian Dable got killed for that against Chicago for the amount of QB run play. It doesn't matter if the kid's not going to protect himself, and we saw that kind of showcase last night.
And to bring this all full circle before we let you hear from Jaxson Dart as he explains himself for the recklessness with which he handled his body and his well-being along the sideline, I'm having a flashback to 6 years ago as the Super Bowl was approaching. I said, and I probably didn't say it as artfully as I could have or should have, but my point was when Patrick Mahomes takes off running, it's not like he's the fastest guy around. But everybody was like, what do we do? The quarterback's running. Like, he got this weird kind of unspoken deference, and it's almost like the other players were hypnotized. They were in a trance, like, we can't go hit him the way we would if it was a running back. And I said, Super Bowl's coming, 49ers, the Super Bowl's on the line. If Patrick Mahomes chooses to run, you just got to go hit him. And if you're risking the possibility that they're going to throw a flag to protect Patrick Mahomes because he's a quarterback and not a running back, there's a point where you got to say, screw it. We're trying to win a Super Bowl here. Now, again, I didn't word it as artfully as I just did, and they wanted to cancel me in Kansas City, and they got petitions to get me fired. And, it's like, look, I mean, it's still football. I remember when it's still football. And the point is, if he's going to run the ball, he's susceptible to being hit as hard as Jaxson Dart was last night. And when we saw in the AFC Championship game, it's just a bunch of players standing around, and they're like running in slow motion, like when you have one of those dreams and you're trying to run and you can't run. Like, what's going on with these players? Why aren't they going to hit him? It's football. Oh, and by the way, the team was the Tennessee Titans, and their coach at the time was Mike Vrabel. So I'd say Vrabel's learned a thing or two over the years about coaching guys to not stand around and watch a quarterback and be fearful of treating the guy carrying the ball as if he's the guy carrying the ball, Devin. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.